Eastbound on the Dan Ryan, everything is solid from the Circle down to Cermak. Crews are still working a crash there in the 2 left lanes. So from downtown to 95th Street, over 20 minutes, but delays are actually forming inbound on the Kennedy because that feeds into the outbound Dan Ryan. So we're looking at about 45 minutes inbound on the Kennedy, O'Hare into downtown, 28 on the outbound trip. So far, so good on the Edens. That's traffic. I'm Amanda Sternecki on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Brisk and very cold. Lots of sun today. We do have a wind chill advisory this morning. High today 15. Increasing cloudiness. Cold night tonight. Low 13. Clouds and breezy tomorrow. Snow showers by afternoon. The high at 33. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer. 2 below at O'Hare. 2 above along the lakefront. It is 11 below in Aurora this morning. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't miss the Ruger event at Shoot Point Blank, now through February 23rd. Save on all Ruger firearms, including the Ruger SR9C 9mm, starting at $279.99. Shop the Ruger event, in-store or online at shootpointblank.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Bret Baier.
Yes, I know Bret Baier. Well, so before we get to Bret Baier, he had a big interview last night, and it all centered around Bill Barr, America's top attorney general, standing up to President Trump, saying, hey, back off with the tweets.
Some of the tweets. I'm happy to say that, in fact, the president has never asked me to do anything in a criminal case. However, to have public statements and tweets made about the department, about our people in the department, our men and women here, about cases pending in the department, and about judges before whom we have cases, make it impossible for me to do my job and to assure the courts and the prosecutors in the department that we're doing our work with integrity.
And backing Barr is Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who was on with Bret Baier last night.
The president made a great choice when he picked Bill Barr to be Attorney General. I think the president should listen to his advice.
So you have a problem with the president's tweeting as well?
I think that if the Attorney General says it's getting in the way of doing his job, maybe the president should listen to the Attorney General.
So do you think the tweet about his opinion on the Roger Stone sentencing recommendations is inappropriate political interference?
Well, the Attorney General has said it's making it difficult for him to do his job. I think the president ought to listen to the Attorney General, who's an outstanding law enforcement officer. He's a top person in the country. The president made a wise selection in picking Bill Barr. I think I ought to listen to him.
You value precedent. Are you concerned at all that President Trump, in his mind, has somehow politicized the Department of Justice, or this has become the new normal for him?
Well, I hate to keep saying the same thing.
Okay, I got you.
Again, but
listen to the Attorney General.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about you as Senate Majority Leader.
He's picked. Well, I think the Attorney General knows what he's talking about. I'm not the Attorney General, but I have confidence in Bill Barr. I think he's doing a good job, and I think he's told the president this is not helpful, making it difficult for him to do his job. I think the president will listen to him.
And with that, let's welcome back to the program Bret Baier, Fox News anchor and author of the just-released book, 3 Days at the Brink, FDR's Daring Gamble to Win World War II. Good morning, Bret. How are you?
Good morning. It's Valentine's Day.
You too.
All right, listen, sweetheart. Bret, listen, I want to tell you, I watched the interview, and it was fascinating to me. And I have to ask you, when you're asking someone a direct question who refuses to answer in that smarmy way with that old lady face, are you ever challenged to say, can you just answer the damn question? I mean, I'm amazed at how you keep your composure.
I figure that the viewers know that we asked the question the fourth time, but that's basically the answer you're going to get, and eventually you move on. But it was any different answer.
Well, he seems so uncomfortable to be there. Did you notice that too when you're sitting right next to him, or is that just Mitch McConnell?
You know, this was set up before the Barr, interview. So the Barr interview happened after we had locked in the interview,
So he didn't want to do
today,
it.
then obviously I would ask that first.
Now, you asked a very important question that also, the answer shocked me because he kind of answered it. And you asked about the Supreme Court justices. And if he would implement the same strategy that he did during the Obama administration, where they had, 8 months, and they just refused to have the confirmation hearing?
Merrick Garland.
Were you shocked by his answer?
Not shocked because I know Mitch McConnell and how he operates, but I did want to ask you because, if that happened, he's essentially saying that he said in 2016 that it was about a party and controlling this going forward. And
Brett, we're having bad reception. I thought that the bathroom at the Ritz-Carlton would have a better reception than this.
Can you hear us okay, Brett?
I can. I'm sorry. I'm just stepping out here.
Okay, there we go. Now we can hear you. So, Bill Barr, is there going to be
anyway?
any...
2016, where he claims that he said that the opposite party controlling the Senate than the president is what he said as far as the laying down the marker for how he chose to act with Merrick Garland. He's saying it because it's the same party as the president, that he would not have a problem if a vacancy came up, filling that vacancy before the election.
Now, President Trump, the West Wing, they were a little surprised, I heard, by yesterday's big announcements from William Barr saying, back off on the tweeting. Do you think there's going to be any repercussions from his actions? Is he going to, possibly lose his job over this?
No. This is my speculation. I don't have it definitive. But I would be surprised if Barr or some of his people did not warn the White House that that's what he was going to say to ABC. Otherwise, I think we would have seen a flurry of tweets already about reaction. And we didn't. We saw a formal response from the press secretary. So I think it was baked in the cake that Barr said something, or his people said something. This is what the Attorney General is going to say to create some distance in this scenario.
Now, I want Bret Baier's opinion. I personally think the only one that could pose any challenge, I need Trump to, I don't like Keynesianism, and I'm not a populist, but I need Trump to win because he prevents the radical Bolshevik view the Democrats hold. I think the one who's the biggest challenge, ironically, is Bernie Sanders. Who do you think is Trump's biggest challenge?
Well, I think it's yet to be seen. Bernie Sanders has a lot of momentum. Obviously, Mike Bloomberg has the most money, and the question is whether he could galvanize the Democratic Party even in that position. I don't know how many Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren fans are going to vote for Mike Bloomberg, the billionaire. And I think that, a surprise outside voice like Amy Klobuchar, if she ever got like a head of steam in some states, could be the biggest challenge, because I'm not sure that middle of the country kind of accomplished campaigner with resources might be a challenge as a woman against President Trump.
And where does Mayor Pete fit in all of this?
Oh, the jokes write themselves.
I think he's an interesting factor. He's clearly got momentum. He's clearly got a lot of backing. I don't know how it's going to play in the African American communities in South Carolina and other places, and the Southern Baptist African American communities. But we have yet to see that. I think that's going to come up before the end of the month.
Are you shocked by the social engineering programs? Like earlier in the show, we talked about Ivanka Trump and the on top of foreign aid for women around the world, the specific money that's being allocated for the family leave that went. We didn't really talk about it. They passed, so 12 weeks a year, federal employees get paid if they have a baby. And now there's the push to make corporations do that. Do you think there's going to be a pushback by the old-fashioned Tea Party conservatives, or are we just going to go along with it now?
Well, I think that's kind of in the factor of trying to reach out to women, to families, and they consider that part of a re-election effort. to tout that as something of an accomplishment. I don't think that the concern over deficit and debt and what we're spending is factoring into anybody's mind, either party. And eventually we're going to hit that brick wall, and somebody's going to have to deal with it. But right now, neither party is talking about that.
All right, let's go back to the 2020 race. One person we didn't mention was Joe Biden, 4th in Iowa, 5th in New Hampshire. It's really difficult if you look at history for him to come back in any way. Is this South Carolina, Nevada it for him? And if he
I
doesn't
think
do
so.
well,
I think
it's
it'd be
done?
really tough to tell donors, hold on. I've got a few more states. And meanwhile, you're getting another big bus in the moderate lane that you occupy, which is Mike Bloomberg. So as it is now, I just think it's kind of limping to Nevada and South Carolina, which is a firewall. But I don't know if he can wait that long. South Carolina's at the end of the month, and it seems like a long time from now.
And Michael Bloomberg's new slogan, did you see it last night when he was in North Carolina? Mike Bloomberg for Black America. He had the signs posted everywhere and
vote for me,
on
I
his
dare ya.
lectern. I mean, it was just, it's kind of creepy. Is he paying for these people to sit in these auditoriums and to have these politicians, African-American politicians, to support him or endorse them?
He's paying for some. He's paying for some of those lawmakers to back him, and that's obviously controversial. He's got 1,100 employees on his campaign, so they think about all kinds of slogans. If you're number 900 employee, you got to figure out how to come up with something. Mayor, I think he's going to be formidable, though. $52 billion goes a long way.
But
and if you're willing to spend $2 of that on a campaign, that's pretty powerful.
Bret, don't you think he's just so rich? He's so used to people telling him what he wants to hear that regular guys. I own a cigar store, right? We watch the television. Joe Biden comes on. It's obvious he doesn't know if he drove to the function or where he parked his car.
That's why
he's
Jill's
completely
with him
out
everywhere.
of it, right? All he needs is the nurse running around. Bloomberg, the most unlikable, unattractive, miserable, faux intellectual erudite that's ever run for president. And I don't even know if he's running. He's just buying it to me. Are people going to vote for this guy?
Strong letter to follow.
Yeah.
You think they're going to vote for him? A regular Democrat. I'm talking about a working guy. Yeah, Mike Bloomberg I relate to. Come on.
No, well, listen, if you talk to Democrats, the number one thing that they want to do is beat Donald Trump. And how far are they willing to go? Are they willing to go with the billionaire who might not be the best on the stump? Maybe. Maybe that's it. I don't know yet, but I think we're going to find out in the next month, about a month and a half.
Which nickname do you like best? Little Mike, Mini Mike?
Baby Yoda or the flying monkey from The Wizard of Oz?
Don't answer that.
I'll let you guys decide.
Yeah, don't answer that question. All right, he is Bret Baier, Fox News anchor and author of the just-released book, 3 Days at the Brink, FDR's Daring Gamble to Win World War II. Thanks, Bret. Have a great weekend, and we appreciate you coming on.
See ya.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The expensive Little Blue pill is now generic, which means the prescription medication to treat ED is super affordable at 4hims.com. And now get your first online doctor's visit free at 4hims.com.